Dreams without goals remain dreams, just dreams, and ultimately fuel disappointment. Dreams without goals, yearly goals, life goals, daily goals, monthly goals, hourly goals, minute by minute goals. Dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. Goals on the road to achievement cannot be achieved without discipline and consistency. True desire in the heart for anything good is God's proof to you, sent beforehand to indicate that it's yours already.
Do you know how powerful you are? Today is not my day. Today is your day. Today is about the power of you. Do you know how powerful you are? And one day, you'll be sitting in the dark and you're going to be asking yourself, what am I going to do now? You're going to ask yourself again and slow it down. What am I going to do now? But in that moment, I want you to remember the power of you. You see, when you're in that darkness, you want to sit there and wait for the light to come. When you're in that darkness, it feels uncomfortable, but you can't wait and sit in that darkness. The only way out is to step forward, to face your fears, to become your own light.
You can make the commitment to your life that you don't like the results that you have and that you're going to do something about it. See, that power is available to all of us. People who look at life and decide, I want something different for myself. You can only have two things in life, reasons or results. The only thing that counts are results. And results don't lie, ladies and gentlemen. When you keep your commitments, you're able to produce some different kinds of results in your life. See, most people, you ask them, hey, look here, I'd like for you to do this. And they'll say, I'll try. I'll try means that is my escape clause. When I don't come through, it's really a polite no. I don't have the courage to tell you no, so I'll tell you I'll try. They don't want to commit themselves because commitment means, among many things, no excuse is acceptable. That's what it means, no excuse. That if you decided that you're going to do this, if it becomes hard, then do it hard. See, whatever you're doing, however you spend your time, that tells you who you are. So think about what it is you like to create in your life experience. Once I look at how you commit your time, once I do an evaluation on how you spend your time, I can tell you exactly what you're committed to.
The only way forward is to decide that you want that dream so bad that you are going to work harder, you're going to get up earlier, you're going to stay later, you're going to push past the people who doubted you and laughed at you and hated on you. I want you to be fearless. I want you to be decisive. I want you to make a decision right now that when you fail and you fall to your knees, I want you to remember the power of you, and I want you to get back up on your feet. Make a decision today that when you're in the darkness, you'll remember the power of you. You are your own light. You will change the world.
Don't you sometimes wonder why so many immigrants who come to America can build a new life and a fortune while many of the people who were born here are barely surviving? They have a dream, a defined goal, ambition. Aside from the pioneers that crossed the prairies and the mountains to reach their vision of hope and future promises, there are other amazing examples of how ambition has shaped America. Take Ben Franklin, for instance. When most people think of Ben Franklin, they remember the kite and the lightning bolt and the discovery of electricity. What a lot of people may not know is that Ben Franklin was one of the first writers to address self-making. When Franklin started Poor Richard's Almanac in 1732, he used the blank spaces between the crop data and the weather information to insert clever bits of moral and practical advice. I'm sure you've heard the saying, fish and company start to stink in 3 days. Well, that was one of hundreds of Ben Franklin's comments on life. Another was, diligence is the mother of good luck. You know, it's amazing how hard-working, smart-working people have all the luck. We sometimes hear of a brand new musical group, an overnight success. They must have been in the right place at the right time, knew the right people, had a friend to help them out. But if you've ever watched an interview with some of these folks, you'll probably hear that their overnight success took several years. Diligence is the mother of good luck. Now, in addition to these witticisms, Ben Franklin gave us 3 principles of success and ambition that have withstood the test of time. Number 1, happiness doesn't come from big pieces of great success, but from small advantages hammered out day by day. What Mr. Franklin is saying here is that we must be happy with what we've got when we're in pursuit of what we want. Too often we say, oh, I'll be happy when I just get that promotion. I'll be happy when I just land that contract. I'll be happy when I just have more money. I'll be happy when I just what? You won't be any happier when you reach your goals than you are right now. It just doesn't work that way. Abraham Lincoln said it best. He said, you'll be as happy as you make up your mind to be. Right now, whether you're on your way, whether you've already gotten there, you'll be as happy as you make up your mind to be now. Right now. Being happy on the way doesn't mean you can't aim for great things. After all, look at everything Franklin accomplished in his lifetime. It means that big achievements come one small advantage at a time. It means that you've got to enjoy the journey. It means that you must enjoy and take pride in your little accomplishments. It means enjoying who you are becoming in pursuit of your eager desire, every day, every single day. Ben Franklin's second principle said that life is plastic. Within each of us is the power to mold ourselves and mold our environment. It is up to each of us to begin this molding process with a final product in mind. And it is within our power to work it and form it every minute, every day, every month, every year. By using your mind and your abilities and your attitude to work a little each day on molding your life, you'll soon see how magnificent your power is to gain those small advantages each day, the little steps it takes to build up to success. Principle number 3, success is a pleasure. Success is a pleasure. If what you are doing today isn't satisfying, gratifying, guess what? You're really not successful. If you are not fulfilled with what you are doing today, you cannot possibly be successful. It doesn't matter how many worldly possessions you may have, how many cars, how many toys, how much money. If you're not happy with your life as it is, you cannot be successful. Now, I know that success is a relative term. It means different things to different people. To a school kid, success may mean a star on top of his latest test. To a homemaker, it probably means that she has a well-run household and a wonderful family. To an outside professional, it's most likely the thrill of closing a major contract, or the pride in accepting a performance bonus, or being named the top producing salesperson. But the one thing you will hear from everyone who is successful is that they are happy with who they are and what they are doing. They are happy, content, satisfied. Success is a pleasure. What have you done today that makes this day successful? Think about it and write it down. If at the end of the day you can jot down the things that have made it a good day, you will soon see patterns forming. This really is a good habit to get into. When you can see a pattern of pleasure, you'll know you're on the road to success. So take note of Mr. Franklin's 3 principles of success and ambition. Number 1, big achievements come one small advantage at a time. One step at a time, one day at a time. Number 2, you have the power to mold your life, to make it whatever you want, to shape it and reshape it. And number 3, success is measured through pleasure. This is the key one. Success is measured through pleasure. You've got to be happy along the way. You've got to learn to give yourself a pat on the back. Good job, you need to tell yourself. I'm proud of me today. You've got to be happy. You've got to learn to enjoy the process. These are really common sense ideas. They're practical. And William James agreed. He's another American great, one of the most notable philosophers and psychologists in our history. And he founded a philosophy called pragmatism. To be pragmatic is to be practical, to test the validity of a concept by its practical results, to actually question something and rate its usefulness by what it can do for you, to hear a method of doing something and figuring out if it's even worth your while. One of the issues Mr. James dealt with in his lifetime was, what does it mean to be a success, a significant person? After years of pondering this question, William James described success as a combination of 2 things. Number 1, an inner ideal which is followed persistently with courage. And number 2, outer achievement related to that ideal. Let's go back to number 1, an inner ideal which is followed persistently with courage. I take that to mean defining a goal and having the resolve to complete it. No matter what, I'll do it or die. Promise yourself you'll read the books until your skills change. Go to the seminars until you get a handle on it. Do it until it makes sense. Practice it until you've got it right. Don't give up until you get where you want to be, however long that is. Step by step, piece by piece, book by book, seminar by seminar, do it until. Go for it. Until is a very important word. It's magic. It means that you'll never give up. Don't miss the chance to grow, to pay the price. Until you learn, change, grow. You'll discover some of life's great treasures when you pay that price. William James' second part to success dealt with the outer achievement related to that ideal. You need both aspects to really be a success. But what Dr. James realized about his philosophy of success was that the first part is indeed more important than the second. Going for it. As long as you're working toward your inner goal, your dream, then success is possible. But once you give up your inner vision, then you can never become successful. You never will become successful. Until doesn't even matter. Now, maybe the person who's been working on a project for 10 years can be successful in his own right, if he's honestly working toward it, doing everything to make himself worthy of reaching the dream, really happy with where he is.
According to the Christian story, the first couple, Adam and Eve, were instructed to be fruitful. Fruitful, produce some results. Fruitful is kind of an interesting word. It sort of denotes abundance. Here's what I think fruitful and abundance and productivity. And I think here's what it means. To go to work on producing more than you need for yourself. Go to work producing more than you need for yourself. And I think we fulfill that command so long ago given, to be fruitful, to be productive, to produce far more than you need for yourself so that you can bless others and bless your community, bless your nation, bless your enterprise. Produce more ideas than you need for yourself that you can share and give them all away. Produce more in terms of substance and money and treasure and all things valuable to human beings, far more than you need for yourself. R.G. Letourneau's story, the man who built the big earth-moving machines, it was his goal to someday give away 90% of his income. Giving away far more than anyone could possibly imagine. Someone says, wow, 90% is an awful lot to give away. Well, you should have seen the 10% that was left. I mean, once abundance starts to come, once someone becomes incredibly productive, it's amazing what the numbers turn out to be. It's amazing what it finally totals. Incredible. So hopefully we'll have guidelines for you during this weekend so you can turn the response you've created already by being here, then the response by employing your mental activity and taking notes and putting all this through your mental processes so that you can create this kind of results when you leave here. Next, best way to make the most out of this weekend is just a few things. Number one, be thankful for what you already have. This looks like a pretty prosperous audience already. So we're already doing well, which is okay. But what if we could multiply the value of our productivity by 2, by 3, by 5, by 10? Would that be valuable? And the answer is yes, of course it would. But first of all, to have the mechanism or the inspiration or whatever it takes to really do extremely well, first you start with thanksgiving, to be thankful for what you already have. We have already solved the problem of necessity. In this room, we've probably already solved the problem of survival. So we're no longer concerned with just necessity and survival. We're perhaps beyond that. But now that we have gotten beyond that, no telling what else we can do, but first of all, let's be thankful for what we've accomplished up until now. The years that have brought me here and the experiences that have brought me here, starting with my parents who raised me, gave me an incredible foundation that's lasted me all of these years. And the mentors that I've met along the way, absolutely changing and revolutionizing my life, my income, my bank account, my future. All of that collectively has brought me here. I'm so grateful for the people, the association, for the ideas, for the chance to work and labor, produce myself. All of that brought me to this place this weekend. I'm grateful for it. For the countries we represent, where we have freedom, liberty. Make this note, it's one of the best for the day. These are extraordinary times. About 11 years ago, the walls came tumbling down in Germany. And it started a wave of democracy and freedom like the world hasn't ever seen before. It looked like communism was on the march for so many years, and the dark shadow of that political philosophy fell on so many countries that I visited even back in those early days. And now those shadows are beginning to flee away, and the light of democracy and freedom and capitalism is now the order of the day. And there's just a few old dictators left, and they will soon be gone. Here's the good news. In our lifetime, they will all be gone. That's an incredible thought to think. The dictators of the past will all be gone. Years and years ago, when I went to South America, almost every country had a dictator. Now they're all gone. I mean, in that whole hemisphere, there's only one left, and that's Castro, and he will soon be gone. And the Gaddafis will soon be gone, and the Saddam Husseins will soon be gone, and they will all be gone. Because now, once this wave of capitalism and freedom and free enterprise and spirituality now sweeping the whole world, once it started all those years ago, I'm telling you, it is such an incredible sight to see. I now have the opportunity to lecture in East Germany and to lecture in Czechoslovakia and Poland. The last time I was in Poland, we had a bomb scare. It was incredible, middle of the winter. And they said, you know, there's a bomb in the place, so we all vacated and went out in the winter and stayed for about, 20, 25 minutes while they brought in the sniffing dogs to clear the place. And no one left. Everyone came back in, middle of the winter in Poland. So that means everything is changing. Jim Rohn teaching capitalism in Moscow and in Siberia, Novosibirsk. I'm one of the few that's been sent to Siberia that came back. And now I'm going again, hoping I get back again. Incredible. These are extraordinary times, politically, socially, and every other way. There's never been anything like it in the history of the last 6,000 years of the human race. It's extraordinary. These are extraordinary times, politically, with freedom on the march, socially, economically, extraordinary times. So make this note, Jim Rohn's view of the 21st century, unprecedented opportunity, every field you can imagine, every endeavor you want to try, unprecedented opportunity. Of course, along with all the challenges that we've faced forever. But this is a new day. This is a new wave. This is a new scene nationally and for each of us personally. There's nothing like it. Unprecedented opportunity. Now here's number 2, the 21st century. Keen competition. It's called world competition now. Not just person to person, not company to company, not industry to industry. What happens on the other side of the world now greatly affects us on this side of the world. So it's a world game to play. This is one of our chances now to play the world game. I travel all over the world. I mean, it's incredible. I leave Los Angeles, 14 hours later, I'm in Tokyo. 5 meals, 3 movies, and you're there. I mean, this is easy stuff. I fly the Concorde, right? 3 hours, London, New York. These are extraordinary times. In about 10 days, I'll be down in South America, Argentina, Venezuela. Incredible. The jets fly everywhere. And then all night long, the jets fly to our countries, bringing us, goods and services and fruits and vegetables from anywhere in the world. It's unbelievable. These are extraordinary times. Unprecedented opportunity, but keen competition. So here's what you need now to really be successful in the 21st century. Number 1 is multiple skills. Hopefully we'll talk about some of those skills this weekend. Don't be caught now in the 21st century with just one skill. If you want to flourish, be fruitful. If you want to grow, produce more than you need for yourself. Learn more than one skill. This is also my perception now in traveling around the world. It would be useful to know more than one language. Learn more than one language. My father spoke German when I was a kid growing up, but he never taught me. My mother was English, but she also spoke French, but she never taught me. I could have learned 3 languages at the same time. These extra languages are so useful. I asked a teacher one time, how many languages can a child learn? Here's what she said, as many as you'll teach them. They don't lack capacity, they don't lack imagination, they certainly don't lack curiosity, they only lack a teacher. So if you think learning another language has sort of passed you by, make this note. Give it as a gift to your children. Another language, and then another language. When I lecture in the Scandinavian countries, they all speak several languages. I do my seminars in English because they can all understand English. In the Scandinavian countries, you're required to learn 4 languages during your educational process. 3 they assign and 1 you can choose. So when you finish the educational process in the Scandinavian countries, you now know 4 languages, which if you live in Europe is a great advantage. But it's a great advantage anywhere, learning that extra language. Some of my business colleagues that make mega millions every year, many of them speak more than 1 language, several languages. Michael Cole speaks, 7 languages. It's so much fun to travel around the world with Michael because he can talk to anybody, everybody. He knows all the languages. It's a gift to give to your children. Okay. So anyway, I said all that to say this. Oh, one more. Learn all the disciplines that make language and skills worthwhile. The disciplines of good health, the disciplines of staying vital. We'll talk about that just a little bit later. So that's your best advantage for the 21st century. So first of all, be thankful. Here's the next one now to make this weekend really powerful for you. Be eager to learn. And I hesitate to say that because, you wouldn't be here if you weren't eager to learn, to pay the price of time and money. And it wasn't the money that was really the expensive part for this weekend. It was the time. If you haven't made that note before, make it now. Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you can't get more time. So to ask you for the price for the seminar, fairly modest, but to ask you for the price in time for the seminar, incredibly expensive. To ask me for 3 days, that's a heavyweight cost for me. But it's exactly the same for you. 3 days is a chunk of time. And so the biggest investment for this weekend is not the money. The biggest investment is the time. So here's what I want to happen. I want this investment to pay off for you, multiplied many times over. What will this seminar be worth? Not the price it costs to get in, and not really the price of time. It may be worth 1,000 times more than that. What if I tried to make the seminar worth just exactly what you paid? That would be difficult. But what if I tried to make it worth 1,000 times more than you paid? I'm telling you, that might be easier, because I'm inspired by ideas that have worked miracles in my life, and I want to share them with you. So I want you to be a lot richer when you walk out than when you walked in. So be eager to learn. Take good notes. No matter how well you do, no telling what else you can do. If you're mega rich, you might become super mega rich, right, after this weekend. We in the Millionaires Club often invite a billionaire to come talk to us. He says, well, you guys are doing okay, but, come on, get your act together. So no matter how rich you are, here's what's possible. You can multiply it by 2, by 3, by 5, by 10 with the right idea, the right inspiration, the right collective association here this weekend. It's going to give you a good chance. Now here's the next one. Argue later with all my stuff. I wish we had time to open it up so we could debate all this stuff right on the spot. Debate later with all of my ideas and the things I'm going to share with you. But make this note now, debate is important. That's why we have at least 2 parties in Congress, to debate good ideas. The communism said, no, one party is sufficient. But see, lacking debate, it's easy to become tyrannical. Power tends to corrupt. Absolute power tends to corrupt absolutely. So without debate, something can gather far too much power. So it's important. And a lot of the issues I'm going to raise this weekend, a lot of the stuff I'm going to share with you is up for debate. Here's why it's up for debate. I can only share with you my point of view. And there's got to be more than one point of view. If I looked at something from over here and I said, here's what it looks like to me, and you were standing over there looking back this way at it, you would say, no, here's what it looks like to me. Now, if I had invited you from back over there to come up here and look at it from where I am, you might say, gosh, you're right, Mr. Owen, I never looked at it before from this vantage point. So that's what I want to do, and the speakers we've got this weekend are going to gather all of us up and share ideas from our point of view. But here's what you must remember. There's more than one point of view. So here's what's important: to be a student, not a follower. To be a student, not a follower. And part of being a student is to debate the ideas. Once you hear them, you say right or wrong. Could it work for me, not work for me? Is that a little too heavy, or isn't it sufficient enough? Now, sometimes it's useful to debate with each other. I'm a good debater, right? If I choose one side, I don't really care which side to choose. Just pick a side. Go for it. I remember a great debate I really heard. Someone in America was debating someone in Canada that held a little more liberal position. And the American was very conservative. And the American said, every man for himself. Individual. individualism, rugged individualism. And on the other side, the liberals said, well, yes, every man for himself, said the elephant as he danced among the chickens. I thought, hey, that's a pretty good point. So, whether it's liberal or conservative, we need both. In America, the Declaration of Independence is America's great liberal document. And the Constitution of the United States is America's great conservative document. So it takes a bit of both. Okay. But to debate the idea, now if you can't debate with someone, here's what you must learn to do. Debate with yourself. Is it valuable or isn't it valuable? Is this idea I've heard a bit off track or is it on track? Would it be useful or not be useful? To debate the merits of trying it, to debate the merits of putting it into action. So debate is a way to refine a good idea. Someone in Congress says, I have an idea for the country. And the rest of them say, wonderful, put it on the table. So someone asks 3 questions, and this guy says, wow, I never thought of those questions. I withdraw my great idea. Well, it's a good thing we didn't try it on the country. So here's why we learn from multiple voices, but we don't become followers, we become students, and that is to refine ideas that can change our health, change our income, change our future, change everything for the better, make us more productive, to finally have far more in productivity than we need for ourselves. But eager to learn, exercise good debate. Now here's the last part to make this a valuable weekend, and that's to be a good listener. And I know that's not going to be easy. You know, most of our life is going on outside these 4 walls. You know, our business is out there and our customers are out there, and you know, the store we run is out there and our children are out there, our family's out there and our friends are out there. Everything, most of the things that involve our life are out there. So sometimes when the big part of our life that's going on out there, it's a little hard to sort of dismiss all of that for a while, put it in a place where you can just push it aside for just a little while and really listen intently and gather up the information. But I know you're going to do your best.